Hello, and welcome to Psychology Demystified. Today's topic focuses on friendships, and the one word that you could be using with your friends that could be causing your friendship harm. This is a word that you use all the time, but this one harmless and almost close to meaningless word could be tainting your friendships. I want you to take a second and think of any emails or texts that you've sent to friends which have this one word in them. And they might sound like this. I'd really love to hang out, but I'm really super busy. Another version that might sound like a variation of what I just said could be, I'm so sorry I didn't get back to you earlier. I've been so busy. Or in response to someone, when they ask you how you've been, you say, oh, what's going on with me? Oh, I've just been so busy. I think by now you've figured out which word I've used in every single kind of communication that you might have had, either via email or text. And the key word is busy. Now let's be clear. There's nothing wrong with actually being busy, because everyone can be busy. I can be busy. You can be busy. Absolutely, there's nothing wrong with being busy. You have to keep in mind, though, that people can have many obligations and still find a way to maintain their relationships as well. It's not the fact that you're busy that drives people away. It's the use of the word itself. Now, I can't be suggesting that you get rid of a word that you've used freely for so long and not give you a reason and also not give you a substitute for it. So I'm going to start by giving you 3 reasons why this word could be slowly eroding your friendships and your relationships. Point number 1, everyone is busy. Saying you're busy is the same nowadays as simply saying, I'm alive. Everyone's busy. There was a time when the word busy meant that you were doing things of importance and many people relied on you and needed you to complete certain tasks for things to continue. However, now because everyone is using the word busy, it's kind of lost its importance. And now it's become a filler word. And because it's become a filler word, it kind of impedes mutual understanding, which means that it doesn't help people understand what it is that you're going through. It just seems like a word that you're using just to generally say, I don't have time. The word busy is actually something that's open to negative interpretation by someone. The vague nature of saying I'm really busy leaves the real reason why you're being unavailable to a friend open to interpretation by them when they hear those words. Now, many people will accept being busy as an excuse the first few times around, but the more you use it and the more your friends hear it, they may start to interpret it as something more sinister, meaning that instead of saying that you actually don't really want to hang out with them, what you then do is that you hide behind or you use the veil of I'm busy. And to them, that won't work because they'll just interpret it as they don't want to hang out, but they don't have the guts to tell me. So what the word busy does is allows people to fill in the blank for you of your own intentions. And it's rare that someone will fill it in with a positive scenario. It will usually go towards the negative. In a worst case scenario, what will happen is that when you say that you are busy, they will see it as your way of blowing them off without actually having to give them a reason. Saying the words busy is also a way of saying not right now. Usually, busy often implies that you have higher priorities right now than seeing your friends. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that because you can have priorities. You might be looking after your child, you might be launching something new, you might be starting a business, you might have deadlines. Busy is fine. The issue there then is that saying I'm busy doesn't communicate any of the stuff that you're actually doing, which your friends, of course, will understand. And in that sense, because you're keeping it so vague, what it then allows people to do is to view it as a sense of not really caring about your friends and kind of makes you seem like you're trying to keep them at a distance. Now, even if I've said all that, just because the word busy is not a word that brings about closeness with you and your friends, It doesn't mean that you can't communicate the same thing to your friends in a different way and still convey the same meaning. So here are some tips for telling your friends, not right now, without hurting their feelings or having them feel like you're trying to distance yourself. Number 1, start by being specific. The easiest and best way to eliminate the vagueness of using the word busy is to simply tell your friends what you are doing. Of course, this might take more of your time, and to you this might be a challenge, especially if you are genuinely trying to do things in a hurry. But it makes a difference in how the message is received, and that difference is significant. So, be specific. Now, I've asked you to be specific, so I'm going to be very specific in my example about how it is to be specific. Let's say you invite a friend to a birthday party, and their response is, I'd love to, but I'm busy. That's one response. But how about if they had said instead, I would really love to, but I have to take my niece to a swimming lesson because I'd promised to watch her, and if I don't, it's going to be a big deal. So please, even though I can't make it, have fun for me and have a drink for me. Same response, but worded differently, because the end result is that the person is not coming, but how you receive it makes all the difference. The second message to you feels like your friend has explained their reasoning. They have also given a context, and they've also communicated to you that they are invested in your happiness, and it doesn't feel like someone's just blowing you off. Number 2, set a time frame. If you're busy because you have an especially difficult thing happening and you have crunch time and you have a deadline and everything is coming down at you at once and you really have to finish before you can hang out with your friends, then give your friends a specific time frame. So communicate and tell them, I would love to, but let me please get done with this project, and within 2 weeks, I'll be all yours. Again, another way of making your friends feel like you're not just blowing them off. Because people can be sensitive, and so can you. And even if those 2 weeks turn into a month, at least your friends will appreciate the fact that you expressed your desire to actually want to hang out with them at some point. Determine if you really need to have a difficult conversation. Truth be told, there's a dark side of being busy. Are you busy because you're trying to use busyness as a way of disengaging from a relationship or friendship that you don't want to have anymore? Is that what it actually is? Because you can't go ahead and ghost your friends, are you using the word busy as your way of distancing yourself from your friends? If you find that you're using the word busy in this particular context, then maybe it's time to have a serious conversation with your friend instead of using this method of ghosting, but not really ghosting them. Because yes, it is uncomfortable to break up with a friend, but at the same time, some friendships deserve this attention. And in some cases, even though it causes great sadness to both of you to end the relationship, it's much better than working to just busy the friendship to death. Because at some point, that excuse is not going to work anymore. Who knew the word busy could have so much weight placed on it? As always, thank you so much for watching. Please continue to be kind and continue to spread kindness wherever you go. And to you, hugs and kindness always.